single wicket for Bangladesh in the first session of day 3 of this test match being played in Chennai. It will be an understatement to say that it was a session that belonged to India. It just did not belong to India. They absolutely dominated it. The two young batters in Shubman Gill, Rishabh Pant, and it wasn't just about Bangladesh not picking up a wicket. It's also at the rate with which both Shubman and Rishabh Pant were getting a lot of runs, probably giving us an indication that declaration may be due today, not around the corner, but at least today. At least that's what they would be thinking, because the lead already 432 by any stretch of the imagination. Most people will say, I think India has already got enough, but I don't think they'll give it up so soon. Also keeping in mind that there are hundreds coming up for both Shubman and Rishabh Pant that the team would want them to reach. Also enough time, so even if you were to bat one more session, maybe an hour after tea also, they could look at doing that. That's not an issue. Probably you could even give up much earlier. We'll discuss about that. Joining me, Siddharth on my left, Siddharth on my right. I mean, I don't know. One is the batters playing well, but did it seem like any point that Bangladesh have come to pick a wicket? Because didn't seem to me. Whether it was
there were
bowling, fielding, anything.
2 dropped chances, okay. It's not as if they were trying, but they were let down by their fielders. 2 dropped chances. One, Taijul dropped Shubman. He could have dived forward at point, but he didn't take it. Shanto. Nazmul Hossain Shanto dropping Rishabh Pant. Now they are totally deflated, the Bangladesh bowlers. Hassan Mahmood is trying, Taskin tried. But see, there was a period, 5 overs, where they restricted them to 5 runs. They had built the pressure. But then the fielders were just not backing it up, and the field also that was set was very, very spread out. You could easily take the runs, you could do all that. No attacking intent shown. So they were let down by the fielders, and in turn, their body, their language just suffered, the bowlers. That's why not a good sign at all, and they are deflated totally. What I think is that 1 hour after this, they'll play more, and they'll declare.
Even I am on the same page as what I think Siddharth has said.
Once.
That I think India, India I think will play for another hour. Maybe they'll reach that lead of 500, 520, and then they'll think of declaring. But one thing that really surprised me was that there was no intent shown by the Bangladesh captain here. There were no attacking field sets so as to make sure that you can probably make sure that the Indian batters Gill and Pant, they maybe go for a rash shot, and that's how they can probably get out. There weren't those attacking field settings, so that's something that really surprised me. The other also, in case of bowlers, so when you know that the conditions are a little bit flat, they're good, they're good for batting. Why wouldn't you want to try some different variations? Why wouldn't you try an odd slower ball, or why wouldn't you maybe try an odd yorker? And this is something that I felt was missing in Afghanistan's case. There was no attacking intent, and at the very same time there was no innovation also, so as to make sure that you can at least get some wickets so as to put pressure on India, because that's what you need at this stage.
No, because Siddharth is pointing about fielding, but fielding as in if it was an amazing piece of bowling, then I can understand. But the drop catches are mistakes made by Indian batters only. It's not that the bowlers put them under pressure. It's a rash stroke. That too, it reminded me of like you're playing some sort of gully cricket or something, and you can become casual and play some strokes. So that's how comfortable Indian batters are at the moment, that they can afford to play a rash stroke here and there. Majority of them have been good, and yet you've not been able to take wickets. But my point is that on a pitch where they themselves have been bowled out pretty quickly, you have not even found a single time where they could have taken a wicket or two. It's just not happened for them, which is what is surprising. You're right about the field. I don't know what is it that they were thinking about. Just so you're going to be defending 500 runs.
Exactly.
So what are you going to do? Spread the field. Anyway, you will get 500, 550. Only thing is 500, 550 may come early. That's the only difference. Not that you're going to reduce it. Plus the batters, that the form that both Rishabh and Shubman are showing, that even if you spread out the field, there's a good chance they'll clear it, which they did in terms of their hitting. So I can't understand what could be the issue.
Okay, is it fine, Shiva?
Yeah,
Is it fine now?
it should be fine. So what happened? That there is a issue. Let's try out this thing also. Just open the other mic also, mic number 4. If that works, then we'll share it around, isn't it? So yeah, Nikhil, maybe if you can open mic number 4 up, Shivam, then I think we can probably work around it also. So I don't know what is the technical issue that is going on at this point. So you can carry on, Nikhil.
No, you guys go. There's an issue with my mic. So
Okay, so basically, look, Bangladesh have only themselves to blame for the situation they are in. Insipid batting that led them already to be in 80% behind.
Yeah.
And on top of that, Pant and Shubman, second innings Gill, yet again showing his prowess, that why he likes to bat well in the second innings of the test match. Pant, what a fairy tale comeback it would be for him. I mean, after over 600 days, you are seeing a particular Rishabh Pant come back into form. Mirpur, December 22 was the last time he had played. Now, September 21, he's back and hopefully he'll get to a century. So, really good situation for India. That's the ideal situation that is there.
why is Shakib Al Hasan not? How many overs has he bowled in the entire Test match?
He bowled
8 overs in the first innings.
and 9 overs
nine
here.
overs now.
He had suffered a finger injury. So yesterday he suffered a finger injury. Today in the morning it was very sore. That is why he didn't bowl much. That is the prime
Now
reason.
came
He
on
had-
to bowl, later.
Oh, no wonder he bowled a few full tosses as well. Because otherwise I can't understand. He's the highest wicket taker in the history of Bangladesh cricket in Test matches. I think he is. For a man like that to have bowled a total of 9 overs so far in an innings was a bit surprising. Could have, and that too has happened towards now. I mean, the last hour or so he bowled a few more overs. So that was a bit surprising. That's okay. So maybe an injury, then that explains it. Otherwise, I thought that the captain does not have any faith in the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just explained that.
Yeah. So that is the reason. It was very sore. He couldn't bowl much with it, but then he had to come. But then yet again the timing. Why would you want to bowl Shakib, a left-hander, when Rishabh Pant is batting? You know how murderous Rishabh Pant can be against left-arm spin. Just ask Jack Leach. Just ask a Shakib Al Hasan who is just hit 100 sixes yet again.
Yeah.
So yet again, everything is scrambled because you already conceded a lead of 220 plus. And you picked up 3 wickets, but then the lead was over 300 at the end of day 2. Today you have conceded about 125 runs more without taking a wicket. It's all over the place. Bangladesh are capitulating very, very rapidly. So captaincy not on mark, fielding not on mark, and that is the main reason why you are saying that yes, this is a very, very bad situation for the man. I had said 80-20. I mean, past experience tells us it should be 99-1, but no. Now I'll increase it to 90-10 now that it's firmly in India's grasp. Bangladesh, they may have good averages.
90-10?
Yeah.
Where is that 10% chance coming from?
Rain, if you are saying, because that is the
But
only.
even then, 10% chance.
Still, I
See,
never.
India have, I think, an eye on the rain because the weather for the next 2 days is cloudy. There is rain predicted, but there is no serious threat of rain. So you would want to make sure that you have the cushion of, some extra overs so as to wrap up the proceedings. So I think India, like Siddharth, I think said at the beginning of the live that I think India will bat not for more than an hour now. Get that lead to 500 and then you declare.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if there is a rain threat, it makes sense. I think that probably explains the way that these two batters have been batting. Let's talk about the two Indian batters, the star of the show for India, Shubman Gill and Rishabh Pant. Let's start with Shubman Gill. There's no Shashwat today because he had said high time he gets run. So I mean, the man had got how many runs in England series? 400 plus,
400 plus
averaging
runs.
57. So
50
one
and
innings he
200,
failed, and we started talking about high time. So I think his test record pretty much, if you take out the last 4-5 test matches, he'd be averaging 70 or so already. So I don't know where the doubts over Shubman Gill had come. Seriously, in test matches, he's already suffered a jolt in his career. He's out of the T20 squad. Now may come back after Rohit, Virat have retired. But in test matches, I don't think his
Shivam, it's there in the
position
other
was under threat. So I mean, carrying on from that, looked very good. Yes, the pitch has become better to bat on, but this is the same pitch where your top order has failed twice. So every run that has been scored, and I like the intent from Shubman later. He's a, conventional batter, technically correct batter. But once he was in the flow, some of those pull shots, cut shots, dancing down the wicket for the spin bowlers, top class now.
And everybody has to hold their horses for Shubman Gill, because until the second innings is not done, you can't comment on Shubman Gill, please. He averages 49 in the second innings of a test match. And
You can read that anyway. I've just
yeah, I can read it.
My
49.
God.
And look at it. See the contrast. 28.6 and 49. He loves playing in the second, third innings of a test. You go down, you'll first see second innings of a match, 36.8. Third innings, 52.4. Fourth innings, 44. That
So-
is why,
so second innings of his team, his average would be
36. Second innings of his team,
so that is either second or fourth, whatever.
36 and 44.
So it's about 40.
Yes.
He's averaging 40 in the second innings.
Yes.
I have a gut feeling that in the list of the Indians who have the maximum average in the third and fourth innings of a test match, I think he already features in the top 10. It's possible.
Really?
I think it is possible.
What explains that? I mean, batters, I can't think of any batter who will have better average in the second innings than the first. I can't think of many batters because it gets tougher, right?
Maybe VVS Lakshman?
Lakshman could be.
Lakshman is the one. But again,
Have to check.
But Lakshman.
In Indian conditions, even more so. I can kind of agree in overseas conditions. Sometimes the second inning kind of gets better and you average better. But in subcontinental conditions, to average higher in the second inning than first, it's a rare, time.
No, and by the way, Lakshman batted in a different position altogether. No? He was a lower. Shubman is the top order. That is even more surprising in that sense. Maybe he's like the train engine, starts out slowly but then catches up speed later.
No, which he is, but what explains that?
I think adjustment, mental adjustment. See, first innings, anywhere you go of a new venue, of a new, if you look at it, country, that mental adjustment is needed. Maybe he's slow to make that mental adjustment.
But can it really be said about the subcontinent conditions or the conditions where he has played most of his red ball cricket, I would say, not just international but domestic also, because what kind of adjustment would really be required on a Chennai track where you would know that he has already played in Dulip Trophy, Ranji or any of the red ball matches?
Quality of opposition, different bowling attack.
No. I mean, the only one thing that I can think of at the moment, why is it'd be better for him in the second innings, even though conditions get tougher in the second innings, so especially subcontinental conditions, I think could be that because his career has coincided with this phase in Indian cricket where they've just not lost. More often than not, first innings you start a test match, there's a lot of pressure because you're starting from scratch. There's that pressure of how many runs. By the time you come on your second inning, more often than not, India is in control of a test match. At least that's coincided with his career. Like he's been part of the Indian team, which has never lost a series at home, right? So in that sense, majority matches, by the time your second inning comes along, you're in a better position than you were when you started the first inning. So I guess that pressure is off where like for example, this test match where first innings, you didn't know, juicy pitch, you come on with that pressure, and that shows that you play a ball which is going down the leg side, which you just didn't need to touch at all. But clearly there are cobwebs, or there is that anxiousness of getting runs, so you fiddle with it, you get out. By the time you come in the second inning, when you've come, you're so far ahead of the match that even if you get out cheaply, you know it's not going to cost your team the match. So with that pressure off, you're getting. And I'm assuming, now it's very tough to look at every test match, but I'm assuming because India has not lost at home for such a long time, that he's always been in a position where he's been more comfortable mentally in the second innings than the first.
I think also, the pressure aspect. The one time when he failed in the third or the fourth innings in India at this point, just recent memory, recency bias. Hyderabad. But all the other test matches, when you look at it, Vizag was pressure because he had to ensure that India got to a good total. But in the other tests,
He won you a test in the fourth innings, na?
Yeah, in
Against
Gaba.
England, yes. No, I'm talking
Also
about
in Gaba.
an England test this time.
Huh.
Yeah.
But also at the Gaba.
Yeah.
91.
But in Australia, I wouldn't be surprised if his second innings scores are better. If you look at India, they chased down, 350 plus at that time. So
Yeah.
a big total, and all of them got runs.
Yeah.
In that, Rishabh also got you runs, and you had that good start by Shubman Gill. So slightly got better to bat on as the match progressed as compared to the first inning. So there I can believe. But in subcontinental conditions, your second innings, wherever you're batting, either third or the fourth innings of the match, it's much tougher. So for bowlers, second inning, Shami, I can understand.
Yeah.
That bowler doing well in second inning. Batter, it's a rare thing, but an outstanding knock nonetheless, the way he's playing.
I feel that I think it's more about Gill struggling to adjust to the requirement of a number 3 that is actually there in Test cricket. That when you come out to bat on opening day, let's assume it's a spicy pitch and you're obviously you're batting first, you lost an opener early, you're maybe batting in the 5th or 6th over. I think that's where maybe some kind of adjustment is still required, because you don't really have to necessarily go for your shots from the word go. You can probably wait for 5 or 6 overs, just hang in there, spend some time and then go for your shots. In the first innings we saw that he just went for that flick which obviously wasn't there and he got out. So I think it's more about the fact that he needs to take a cue from Pujara as to how you would want to go about your innings when yours is the team that's actually beginning the test match. I think it's more about just settling into things first of all for the first 30-40 odd balls and then probably going for your shots.
But he does that in the second innings.
Yeah, that's maybe something that's required in the first innings because the conditions are different, the match situation is different. Obviously, situation is going to become from you only. That's the
Either in the first innings, he's taking a chance. What is the condition going to be? How is the ball coming on? In that, there is a misjudgment which happens more often. So that discipline isn't in. Maybe in the third innings, he's seen, okay, this is how it is doing. I know now how to play in this wicket. So in the second and third innings, he does well in that sense.
Exactly.
Okay, Rishabh Pant.
He never left, didn't he?
Yeah, it just feels like that. Never left. And it's not just about the runs, which of course we are all enjoying. He's come back not only to be amongst the runs, but he's come back in the same avatar like he was before. Still playing those shots. Still playing the reverse sweep for 4 when he sees there's no fielder there, or scooping the ball over fine leg. So all of those outrageous shots that you saw from Rishabh Pant all along, they still continue. Delhi Capitals put a post out saying, "Arey, idhar aayega bhai ek mid wicket par."
That when Dhoni said, I think who was that? It was in that Bangladesh match, right?
Yeah.
Who was he?
Mustafa Murtaza.
Yeah.
Mustafa was the captain. That was the warm-up match. No?
Yeah, the warm-up game. Yes. And now Pant.
Achha, so he's saying.
He was setting the field for them. Now this guy is also setting the field for the opposition.
Achha, was he doing that? Rishabh was setting the field for opposition.
Really?
But I think Dhoni did it for Bangladesh, because I think if that ball would have been bowled and the fielder would not have been like any of that required position, then I think it would have been a no ball because of the fielding restrictions.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
Did you show our viewers that?
Yes. It was.
We had a comment, I've forgotten the name because we were talking about Shubman Gill.
Tell Shubman Gill to
Maulik
bat
Gar
on
is saying that. Tell him to play the first innings in the nets. Good suggestion.
Well, what to do then?
But see, if nets could replicate match situation, then some of your players who did not play matches before playing the test match wouldn't have had issues. The problem is, nets, no matter how many nets you do, will never replicate the experience of a match.
Yes.
Which is why Duleep Trophy should have been played. But it does not replicate it.
Yeah.
That's the point. So no matter how the mindset, see, this is what I'm saying. We were discussing why is he not succeeding in the first innings, and can't be a technical reason for it. It has to be mentally how he's adjusting or how he's feeling or how much pressure he's taking. This is why I go back to that point. Why is it needed for a player to play a couple of red ball matches before starting a test series is because it, gets you to experience those feelings. While net can, people say, what is the difference if you spend 5 hours doing net session, same thing, you're getting used to the red ball, sighting, playing. The difference is that you're playing without pressure. There's no field set, you're not thinking, you're reacting to the delivery and not thinking about anything. You can be in your zone also. As soon as you play a match, whatever match it is, club, first class, anything, the whole match situation, you're thinking of 5 other factors. That is what you need to replicate before going into the game.
Yeah.
If it could, then probably if net was exactly like how it was in match, then you didn't need to have those first class matches, and Shubman Gill could actually pay heed to that suggestion and play first innings in the net only. But it will not help, my friend.
It won't. So that's what he said. Rishabh Pant. एक fielder यहाँ पे आएगा भाई, यहाँ पे लगाओ. One fielder should be here. Shanto set a fielder where Pant indicated. That is next level camaraderie. Opposition say you're taking advice from.
But Pant is a character, I would have said it.
It reminds me of that Sehwag and Inzamam incident.
Which one?
एक फील्डर अंदर ले आओ मुझे छक्का मारना है. Bangalore test.
Bangalore. Oh yeah, 2005. Yes.
No, but in that case, at least Sehwag is being honest.
Yeah.
Who
knows? He could be honest.
No. But he's being honest that he wants to succeed.
Yeah.
In this case, Pant is honest, helping the opposition succeed. You can get my wicket if you put a fielder like that. That reminds me of a story that Mr. Gavaskar once told me. Not on camera, just generally. So we were talking about how sharp Javed Miadat used to be. So he said, there was this one time I was batting and Javed kept telling Imran Khan, the captain, that put a short leg for him, he'll be out. And Gavaskar is like, I know in my heart what he's saying, he's right. And he knows I can be out there. And he's like, I hope Imran doesn't listen to him. And he said, sure enough, Imran wasn't listening to him. And he got so fed up, Imran Khan, of Javed Miadat's suggestion, he sent him to fine leg. So that, he's not continuously giving him suggestion. And he was like, as a batter, I knew that what Miadat is saying is absolutely right. I am, with the way the bowling is happening, there's a good chance I will inside edge one and give it to the short leg and I can be out. But the captain was not listening. So
in that team, who do you think, like this kind of thing Pant is doing, the verbal, who would give Shrikant in that team?
What?
The verbals to the opposition.
No, not verbals, as in what Pant doesn't, and that's very interesting. See, in terms of verbals, I read Sanjay Manjrekar's in the book, and he had mentioned that the only guy who could fight fire with fire in terms of sledging in their team used to be Manoj Prabhakar. He's like, he was the only guy. He said in those days Pakistan was quite a dominant team. They would, and not only in terms of their performance but also verbally, all of them would attack. And he said Indian players in that sense were very in their own zone. They didn't bother about, they just like to play their game and go on, very gentlemanly like most of the players. He said the only guy in our team who would give it back as good as he got was Manoj Prabhakar. So he's like, he was part like Pakistani only. He would start, and even while batting he's sledging the bowler, even while bowling he's sledging. So he would do that in that sense. But what I like about Rishabh is he's not that kind of sledging, being aggressive and abusive, and his sledging is so suave and so intelligent. This is what actually is banter.
Yep.
It's not sledging and it's banter. It actually is good. Like the whole scenario that he had, that babysitting and, so that was good humor and he continued with that. And which is why what happens, players like this, one, that they can, of course, sledge. But the good thing is that they can take it in their stride. Yeah. They themselves, when you sledge them, you can't disrupt their concentration because they know that they have that sense of humor of taking a joke. Yeah. It's only people who are touchy will not take the joke, then they'll get aggressive. Oh, tum marunga isko, and then you get out or play a rash stroke, or you get, or some do well also, but in aggression they hit. In Rishabh's case, I think he'll be playing the same way, whether you've sledged him or you've not sledged him, he'll continue to play the same. So he doesn't allow himself to change only because he can take a joke. So he's not only the guy who can give jokes, he's happy taking it also. He doesn't take it seriously or takes it a miss, which is what is fun. But his batting is so entertaining, and I was just thinking that look at the amount of people that are turning up to watch at Chepauk.
Yeah.
Also because it's weekend, India are batting. But don't be surprised, a lot of them are coming into the ground because Pant is batting.
Yes.
I think that's the ability that a Rishabh Pant has of drawing in crowds. So in a time where test match cricket was struggling to get crowds in, you need a Rishabh Pant or two. A lot of batters will get runs, but you need a Rishabh Pant or two to get. That takes me to another question. Is it now a certainty that Rishabh is 5 and KL is 6? Because first innings we discussed there could be tactical. I don't know whether it's tactical once again, it's flexible, or is it now a done deal?
I think I would say it's all but confirmed. Not 100%, but all but confirmed, because you would also want to look at the kind of workload that Pant would have in wicket keeping. Let's assume that he is kept for around 120, 130 odd overs. So just to make sure that he has enough time for recovery, you can have KL Rahul or Ravindra Jadeja at number 5. So I think it's all but confirmed, but depending upon in some cases when you have fielded for too long, just to make sure that Pant recovers well, you might have KL at 5.
But I think so. See,
but what does that do to a KL Rahul's confidence?
Doesn't do.
See, he's, we discussed, would be the only batter under pressure. I'm not saying that he's reached a stage where he's going to be dropped. Of course, he'll play a few matches, but he's the only one who will be under pressure if he has a string of failures, the first one to be dropped, right? So now you're telling him, again, Pant is one of your best test wicketkeeper batters in history. I agree all that. But then again, KL comes into the team as a proper batter who used to open at one point. Now 5, now has been pushed to 6. I don't know. If I'm KL Rahul, it's not doing much to my confidence.
It could
honestly,
it could work like the way how the former India coach, it turned his career around. I mean, he was having a lean slump at 3. Rahul Dravid, I'm talking about, for a brief period. Kolkata Test, he was demoted to 6.
No, but that was primarily because VVS was in such good form that you decided to push him up. Also, I believe, that test match, Rahul also had fever in that game. So maybe to rest him. But again, if I'm a top level, I've seen Rahul Dravid's cases were never that he's on the verge of being out of the team, right? Yeah. So then it's a different matter, not a fair comparison. But in Rahul's case, he's anyway would have that in his mind that, people are scrutinizing him. And you push him now to number 6. It's also telling you kind of, the pressure is on, boss. You're off. Because after 6, you're out only.
You're out. Now the problem is, he's not going to get a good batting thing in this test match. It's done. I don't think, because both are getting to hundreds. Anyway, if he scores a 20-30, 500 run lead has come, he won't get much batting practice. So he will end this test match with a low score. Let's just assume that. Now for the next test match, if he doesn't capitalize, is he a certainty for the New Zealand series? We don't know. If he is, you are then playing around with his confidence also. See, he's batted at 5 and 6. That is, I think, either he's been told, like, boss, 5 and 6 will be rotated. Then his role in the team, if there is no clarity on and you continue to rotate him and play him at 6, his confidence will take a hit.
Okay. Yeah, unless he has been told that you'll have to be flexible. Either you'll have to bat at 5 or 6. Then it's fine, but if that's not really the case, then obviously his confidence will
any kind of shuffling, any kind of rotation without the proper role clarity will affect anybody's confidence. And KL, he's taking everything for the team. I don't think he said, no, I don't want to bat in this position.
He never said no to anything.
Exactly. And yet, he may be
he's
the
Rahul.
first. Yes. Rahul, naam mein kuch hai.
He has to say yes.
He has to say yes.
Can we have some questions, please, Shivam?
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part about it.
Why is it unfortunate?
It doesn't work every single time. Somewhere down the line, you may have to say no. If it hurts your career, then what you're going to do? Dravid didn't make it a certainty at 6 all the time. A Tendulkar also, he had to have a lot of reservations when he was pushed to 4, right, at certain points.
And he even, I think, Tendulkar himself claimed that, I can do it for the team, but if you ask my personal choice, I would want to open the innings, specifically in the ODI format.
Yeah, ODIs, yes. Yeah, but I was just talking about...
But Tendulkar was a mentality monster. That's why he could adjust to it.
Okay, freaking awesome says now Gill is the 6th highest run scorer in tests in 2024 and he is the 2nd highest run scorer for India after Jaiswal in 2024. Exactly what we spoke about.
Shashwat, actually. I'm looking for it.
Why are you behaving like Ravi Shastri now? Huh? Where is that Shashwat guy? Huh? Why you want to do this?
Ravi Shastri did that.
You remember in that Centurion Test match of 2018?
He came looking for a journalist.
Journalist,
I know,
yeah. He did.
Friend of mine, yes.
Good friend of mine.
Shashwat
also.
said that, it's high time. I don't know.
No, he said you guys have misquoted him. He wasn't saying it like that. Lost in translation.
I know.
Tata is getting ready, Ashwin's getting ready to bowl, huh?
Yeah.
Already coming,
I'm
checking
saying,
the pitch out.
1 hour
1
more,
hour,
that's
yes.
it. After the centuries happen, that's it.
I
They'll
think
declare.
Bangladesh will bat around 10 overs before tea. Probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Sridhar Saivarkar says Pant has come back to Test cricket as if he was never out. It's a great boost for the Indian middle order who had to bail out India multiple times. Pant versus spinners is a delight to watch. I agree. I absolutely agree.
He murders spinners.
Yeah.
Let's make no bones about it.
Absolutely agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sarat Chandra is saying, Nikhil sir, will India declare immediately after both hundreds? It's good to close off the match today, there is time left. But Rohit is aware of draw versus West Indies when they batted little long. 450 plus lead enough.
Here, see, the draw is not going to be an issue till, unless of course rain.
Yeah.
Rain is a threat. Otherwise, where any team going to draw with so many days? It's just not even
It's
like
not even possible,
one, with just about a quarter of day 3 has gone. Not even reached halfway mark of the test match so far.
See, I had mentioned in prior to this build-up of the match that there is rain on all 5 days, but the rain happens only after the end of the day's play. Yeah. And yesterday it did pour in the night in Chennai.
It did, yes.
So that is why we
There
had
was some drizzle in the morning also.
Yeah, but then there is no rain during the match as predicted. It will be cloudy, but rain is only in the late evening time.
Then why would you want to take a chance? Because weather can constantly change.
See, you got Bangladesh on the ropes. 500, any team psychologically
You
will be
would
down.
need a cushion of, more overs, so as to bowl them out.
Sure, so suppose 1 hour, you've gone past 500, you've got 1 hour pre-tea, 2.5 hours post-tea. Tomorrow, you've got to bat out essentially 7.5 sessions. How much more time do you need in that?
Yeah. Okay.
Any other comments, Shivam?
Okay. Anonymous says he feels that this batting is fragile and will be tested in Australia.
I was thinking about this morning. It could happen, yes.
Even if it wasn't fragile, it would have been tested in Australia.
No, that was obviously going to be the case because, first of all, I feel that, Australians they're desperate to beat India. That is happening this time, that they want to beat India. They don't want India to make it 3 in a row. And secondly, the kind of form that some of our batters have shown in Test cricket in the maybe past few months or so, like Rohit has been good, but then he's been slightly inconsistent. In case of Kohli, he's also coming back after a break. So unless they don't get some confidence or runs in the New Zealand series, I think it's going to be tricky. You would want your 2 of the best batters to be in great form heading into Border Gavaskar Trophy, and same for KL Rahul also. You don't really want a weak spot at that time.
See, it is obvious that KL Rahul is your buffer at 6. Okay. I think they are preparing him for a buffer at 6. Pant will be your 5 depending upon what is the situation. Pant will be 5, but all that will change if Hardik comes back.
Yes.
If Hardik comes back, there is no place for KL Rahul.
What do you mean if Hardik comes back? We have said this 4 days ago, 5 days ago.
He is coming back.
He is coming.
Yeah, you predicted in July, right?
Who didn't believe us?
He's not here. Although I'll put myself in that list also, but that was only because of fitness concerns.
No, fitness concern will be late. Fitness concern is when he's got a lot of workload. He's not getting any workload.
Yeah.
Why won't you utilize something? You can't wrap people in cotton wool and just keep them aside. You need to use them most. If an Indian team needs a skill and there is a player available, why are we reluctant to use it? Just because he may get injured. Bumrah might get injured playing this test, so you're not going to use him.
Yeah.
KL is fragile, he gets injured, you're not going to make him play.
Yeah.
Injury can happen to anybody. Yeah. You have
Yep.
to use them. Na? Use them judiciously. That is something you can do. But overall, you have to.
Which is something that I think they'll have to set a workload for Hardik Pandya, na, that he's not going to bowl more than 15 or 16 overs in a match, no matter the situation. I think they'll have to go by this set criteria. They have to make Hardik Pandya the test all-rounder once again.
They will do that. Of course, that's exactly how they're going to do.
Yeah.
Alp Div 24 says KL never played at 5 since 2021 BGT. Pant is playing at 5. What are you talking about?
That KL never played at 5. KL has now been told categorically that we are looking at you as a middle order batter across formats. So yeah, Pant has batted in majority of the
KL was 4, right, in
Yeah.
one England match that he played. But then see, he's been looked at a designated 5 because that's the position he bats in the ODI format also. So,
Okay, Thomas De Cruz says VK moving to London is hampering his batting, but that's a.
I mean, see, he's had a test slump.
But how can you relate that to somebody's slump? Staying at one place, how does that matter?
See, he's had a test slump. He didn't play the Dulip. He's clearly rusty.
A slump will happen whether you're staying in London or Delhi or Mumbai or Timbuktu, or runs will come again. Doesn't matter where you're staying, right? I mean that I don't see the connection between that. It can be a coincidence. That's another thing, but I don't see. And by the way, the slump started even before he moved to London. So
Exactly.
I don't think London. Don't blame the poor city of London for anything. Okay, Web of Tarangi is saying Sid never underestimate KL Rahul, especially if his place is in danger. Who knows? He might score a half century today in 30 balls.
Well, if it happens.
I have given KL a name. He's the Johnny Best of India. Places in
Maybe.
danger, boom, 100.
100, yeah, I know. But poor guy, I mean, forever in a big situation that is there. So,
International 3191 has a very unique question. We'll answer that and then wind up. He sent it from US. Who are your favorite Bollywood actors? Go quickly.
sit you.
Why are you biting your tongue as if you do not see? You know every Bollywood film,
I
the
know,
dialogue.
but
See, I don't really have a favorite Bollywood actor, but I have favorite roles that some of the Bollywood actors.
So
have done.
name one, any
Name
actor.
one, name one.
Perspective. I think Sanjay Suri is one of the good actors that I feel he has done some good movies.
Okay, done.
Paresh Rawal.
Paresh Rawal, bhai. Mine is Manoj Bajpayee. He's my favorite actor.
Yes.
Okay.
Genius.
Anything else? We got okay. Mr. February says, as I said, Yashasvi Jaiswal always struggles against real pace. He never scores runs in an initial spell versus England and South Africa, and now versus Bangladesh. Even versus England, he only smashed Jimmy when he was bowling around 120s with no reverse. But again, tougher test away. Let's see how he goes. But these were pretty decent fast bowling conditions. And he's given a good account of himself. So, yeah.
Good pick, anonymous Nasruddin Shah, yeah.
Nasruddin Shah, yeah, very
Genius.
good choice, yeah.
Genius
Om Puri as well.
Yeah.
Well, I loved him too. Irfan Khan, good shout, Sushil.
Nawazuddin Siddiqui.
Yeah. There are so many, but you just asked us to pick one.
Yeah.
My current favorite is not from Bollywood, so that's why I did not name him. He's from, what do you call the Kerala film industry? Mollywood.
My current favorite, I just watched a couple of his movies, Prithviraj.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I know Fahad, right?
Fahad Fazil, yes. Fahad
yes.
Fazil is my favorite. He's incredible.
Fit
And
monk.
do you know, he might be coming for the conclave in Mumbai.
Wow!
That's nice.
Man! Lovely, lucky you.
If he does, I don't know. Maybe.
Fit monk, there's a rest day in New Zealand was SL match today. Why? Because of the presidential elections in Sri Lanka.
Okay, match has started. Enjoy this session. Are we coming back before tea? Declaration is up.
Yes, we are.
Okay, let's see if their prediction is
But
right.
the final target for Bangladesh?
510.
I'm not sure. That's
do
you.
that prediction today.
You do it. You do it.
505.
Okay, we'll see. Okay, see you guys soon. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.